Hey there, everybody. It's your old buddy Frank back here again with the second part in my latest series, An Old Man Looking Back. Oh man, got to get the readers on for this. Really feeling the part today. Um, so, just to recap, this series is about significant times in my life, specifically years. And why are you doing this, Frank? Well, hopefully it'll stir up some conversation for some of the rest of you as to important times in your life when you look back. It's mainly geared towards people my age, but it doesn't have to be. There's significant times of everybody's lives that we look back on and say, hey, that I didn't even realize it at the time, but that was a very impactful year. So that's the purpose. Hopefully, in the comments section, some of you can add some of the remembrances of the significant times in your life. Um, I've done one so far. It was 1980. Today I'm going to talk about 1983. Now, 1983 for me, just to let you know, was probably the year that really defined my childhood. Everyone has that one year that was so impactful, so important that it has a profound impact on the person you grew to be. And in your mind, when you remember back, um, you always kind of use that year as a base to work from. So 83 was mine. So just to set the stage for you, here's Frank, 1983. 1983 shows me at the beginning of the year finishing up eighth grade. Now, in 1983, I finished eighth grade and I began ninth grade, high school. So that's obviously a big change right there, but we'll get to that. So one of the most impactful things that happened to me in 83, um, you're going to laugh. I guess this wouldn't be much to some people, but in January, we got MTV. End of January, we got MTV. Don't ask me how I remember. It was January 29th. Um, I guess the reason I remember is it was so important to me. I've always been a record collector, always been really into music. And when we got MTV, I was able to see all these bands that I never heard of before. Uh, British new wave bands, some heavy metal bands that weren't played on the radio much. We mainly had pop music playing on the radio. Most stations didn't play, like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, or like the stuff coming across from England, Ultravox and Echo and the Bunnymen and groups like that. So MTV gave me this venue to discover all this new music, and some of it was a couple years old by that time. So I just took it in. I just watched constantly. Me and my best friend Buddy, we would get on the phone at the end of a day and be like, "Hey, what did you see today?" And that year really helped me develop just an appreciation for what became probably my two favorite genres of music, which would be new wave synthesizer music, new wave music, alternative music, and heavy metal music. Now, just to be clear, we're talking about real heavy metal music here. I don't want to ruffle feathers, but we're not talking about Poison and the hair bands and Bon Jovi, etc. I'm talking about Priest and Maiden and Metallica and Megadeth. They weren't out in '83 yet, but still. Um, and man, I just soaked it all in. Just soaked it all in. Everybody has a year from their youth where the music was just magic, where it feels like every song was good, every song meant something. For me, that was 1983. I know that's something that Buddy and me shared. We always look back on that, especially this summer, which I'll get to. So, got MTV, finishing up eighth grade, fairly non-eventful. I mean, we're really going through that transition at that point from into like becoming a real teenager. I was 13 going on 14. Spent a lot of time at the mall, playing in the arcade, at the record store, obviously. Seeing movies together, Buddy and me. We had just had a ball. So summer, we spent most of the summer at the pool in the apartment complex where he lived, and developed my first crush there. Won't share who that was. I'll say when she showed up at the pool with her mom, who was equally as hot, first MILF that I recall, was wow, so I'll leave that one alone. But we spent every day at the pool, had the box, you remember the box, boom box, listen to all the music of that summer, which is forever going to be indelibly etched into my brain as the summer. That everybody has that halcyon summer that you'll never ever forget. And for me, that was the summer of '83. At the end of the summer, I started high school, which I started ninth grade, and it was a great year. You know, there are people look back, they hated high school or they had a miserable time. Not that every day was great, but I loved high school. I loved hanging out with my friends, obviously checking out the females. You know, mostly we stopped at checking out. We didn't get much further than that, at least at that time. But I loved high school. And in ninth grade, you know, I was kind of developed a new image for myself. You know, more of a, I guess, a harder type image, but not, you know, obviously I'm 5'7". How hard can I possibly be? Yeah, how much of a tough guy could I really look like? But, you know, I thought I was doing good. You know, I was wearing the checkerboard Vans, and this was the time I bought parachute pants, guilty. I had skinny ties, you know. People think like, oh, you know, like, oh, that era that they hear about it, the younger people say, oh, did you dress like a punk? No, I liked a lot of punk music, like the Dead Kennedys and such, but like, I actually dressed more like Alex Keaton from Family Ties. I dressed more like Michael J. Fox with the ties and you know, the dress pants and the sweaters from the Gap or you know, Benetton or wherever. Great beginning to my high school career. That fall, I got my first real stereo system. It's a component system, a Pioneer system, front-loading turntable, equalizer, perfect present. My dad got it for me. It was an early Christmas present that year it was a perfect present for a kid that really loved music. And I bragged about it. I remember going to school. There was one other dude there that was really into stereos. We subscribed to that Stereo Review magazine, and you know, we loved just discussing that stuff. You know, the school dances that year, just magic. I mean, everything about that year was just stupendous. Can't think of too many downtimes. The only thing I could think of that was negative during that year was in May I got confirmed in the Catholic Church. I grew up Catholic, no longer Catholic. That was probably the last dealing I had with organized religion until I started going to my future wife's church, which would have been like 6 or 7 years later. So that wasn't good. I really strayed away from spirituality and God at that point, you know, because I didn't take it serious. Truthfully, I wasn't taught very well. But I mean, if I was to pick out one negative about the year, that would be it. But that was it, man. 83, magical year. Everything was happening. It seems like that's the year when I really turned the corner from little kid to full-fledged teenager, and I was loving every minute of it. I do wish Buddy was here to see this, because I'm sure he would throw in his 2 cents. He loved that year too. Fortunately, we were able to experience it together. And what's better about experiencing a wonderful year of your life than experiencing it with somebody you care about? And in that case, as a youth, it was my best friend. I couldn't have asked for a better partner to experience that year with. I still talk to my wife about all these little scenarios and everything we went through. It was just magic, and I will always look back on that year fondly. So that is 1983. Next up, we're going to move forward to 1986, and great year as well. Probably my second top year of the 80s, growing up. A lot changing at that time too. Different stuff changing. But yeah, hopefully this stokes some memories here. Throw them in the comments section if you feel like it. All my videos, as always, are available on my YouTube channel. I sometimes put the links, sometimes I don't, but all you got to do is go over to YouTube, type in my name, because there's only one Frank Soik, as just about anybody will tell you. So thanks for watching. Hopefully it didn't bore you. Hopefully it stoked some memories, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Have a wonderful Sunday. Take care. Bye.